Welcome back to our conservation playlist dedicated to various nature conservation organizations globally and the causes they champion. In episode 1, we introduced Vincent van Merwe from the Endangered Wildlife Trust, and he shared his role in managing the only growing population of cheetah in the world. In the second episode, Vincent shared the plight of cheetah worldwide, particularly the trade of wild cheetahs from East Africa to the Middle East. His call to action was clear. We need to completely halt the domestication of cheetah. In this episode, Vincent explains the sensitive issue of collaring cheetahs and explains the reasons it is necessary to protect the species. We include some interesting footage of the location and collaring process of 2 cheetahs in the Karoo, South Africa.
Yes, so collaring is a very sensitive issue, and a lot of our more touristy reserves have tried to avoid collaring, and they've experimented with things like internal collars, which don't work as well as the collar, the external collar around the neck. And we've had some horrible incidences where these internal collars get dislodged inside cheetahs, and they don't give off a very good signal. You have to be within 1.5 kilometers of the cheetah to pick up that signal, whereas with a neck collar, you can, if you're on top of a mountain, you can pick up a cheetah from 7 k's. But in bush like this, you would probably only detect a cheetah within 1.5 k's. But we prefer, in big reserves like Pilanesberg, of course, we prefer a satellite collar. So there they'll give you an exact GPS position to within 10 meters. It depends how long you want the battery to last, but if you get 1 ping per day from that cheetah GPS satellite collar, could last about 2 years. But if you're getting 4 or 5 pings a day, then your battery life comes down to about 4, 5, 6 months. So yes, we absolutely have to have collars on these animals. Monitoring is absolutely essential because things can very quickly get out of control. So you get a particularly fertile female. She's continually giving birth to cubs and raising them to independence, and all reserves in South Africa with cheetah are fenced, every single one of them. So you have to manage your wildlife population in a fence system to prevent inbreeding and to prevent overpopulation. So as those offspring hit independence, we want to be able to dart its offspring immediately and move them elsewhere, because we don't want overpopulation. We've seen on certain reserves, when you have too many cheetah, within a period of 6 months to a year, prey populations can be totally decimated. We've seen in some of our national parks, mountain zebra for example, we started off with 3-4 cheetah there in 2007. In 2010 we had 34 cheetah. So when the cheetah had cleaned out all the springbok and blesbok in the lowlands, they literally started moving into mountainous habitat and hunting kudu on cliffs, which is just not normal for cheetah, the costs associated with removing 21 surplus cheetah off of mountain zebra were in the millions. So to save costs and to prevent inbreeding and overpopulation, we collar our cheetah. And then also the other main reason is some cheetah test fences, and some cheetah have very little respect for fencing. And if you look at what's happening in the continent of Africa today, with exponential human population growth, our human population on this continent will double in the next 30 years. The moment cheetahs leave protected areas, they absolutely become decimated. So we have to have collars on those animals, and the moment they escape, we have to recapture them with helicopters or send out teams with vehicles to recapture them. So those are the reasons why we have to have our cheetahs collared. Alright, so it's 6:30 in the morning here in the Karoo. We're heading out to go and find 2 young male cheetah that need to be relocated all the way from the southwestern corner of the country to the northeastern corner. So it's going to be a very, very long day. So as you can see, it's not the easiest terrain to work on here, but we're going to be first trying to find these cheetah, and then after that we're going to hopefully get a helicopter in and and we could dart them from the air, because as you can see, to try and dart cheetah from a vehicle or from on foot in terrain like this is simply not possible. The reason why we're taking the 2 males off of this property this morning, off of this protected area, is because they're related to all the other cheetah here. So we have to remove them to prevent inbreeding, and we're going to be taking them to another protected area on the other side of the country where they're unrelated to the cheetahs. And then we can get some new genetics into that system. As you can hear, it sounds like we've got some signal for these cheetah. There we go. Okay, so it looks like they're in this corner over here in the mountains, which is not the best news. It looks like we've got a direction at least, and we can now call in the helicopter. Lucius is going to be working the telemetry, so we can find the cheetah. He's got his earplugs there because the helicopter is obviously going to be making a hell of a noise. And then we've got Dr. Brennan Tyndall, who's going to be darting the cheetah from the air. And then we've got Conrad, who's a very experienced helicopter pilot. And yeah, good luck, guys. We're holding thumbs. Alright, ready for action. Here we go. Okay, so we've got some really great news. The first dart has got in. We just got some radio communications from the helicopter. So the first animal has been successfully darted, and it looks like we're winning. So we're just waiting for that second dart to go in now. As you can see, the cheetah is about 400 meters away from us, and the helicopter is very close. Okay, so this is the dart gun that the vet utilizes to dart the cheetah. It's got a little 2.22 cartridge here, which gives enough propellant. Fires the dart up to 30 meters, 40-50 max. We're going to load the cheetah into these crates now. The helicopter's back on its way, and the operation is moving ahead smoothly. So yeah, we had wonderful success. Both cheetah have been darted and loaded, and things went very, very smoothly. We were very, very fortunate. The helicopter pilot was absolutely excellent, handled the aircraft very nicely at a low altitude, and managed to get the vet nice and close to the cheetah, and only 2 darts were necessary, one for one cheetah, one for the other cheetah. So there were no misses. The darts went in, the drugs went in nicely, and we managed to get our genetic samples. We recollared both of the cheetah, and we're now on our way to Endangered.
Thank you for watching. A quick reminder that any revenue generated from this playlist will be paid directly back to the organizations featured, so remember not to skip those ads. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification button so you don't miss out on hearing more from Vincent and future episodes on this playlist.